Hey, Ryan Gilbert. Decided to upload it to YouTube just because I saw the quality was a lot better than I've been getting in the past. So sorry if it's an inconvenience to get to, but if you do get here, it's a lot easier to listen to than my past videos. So I don't know if we'll be able to get to all of the topics, but I'll go over a couple of them. I know the timing's actually pretty interesting for me because we just had a presentation on sexual violence and sexual harassment where I work today, and the Brock Turner instance was brought up because I work with student athletes. So obviously our ultimate goal is to provide a safe environment for them in academics, an academic support center where I work at Mizzou. So it was interesting to see the Brock Turner article linked here after we had talked about it earlier today. But overall, we just like we read about for the reading memo and what we talked about today at work was about prevention and intervention, and not just one of them, both of them working together, actively looking to intervene in either delegating to someone else who may know one of the two involved parties, or directly intervening yourself, or distracting one of the involved parties if you believe that there is sexual abuse, relationship harm in any way, to try to get out of that situation. So it was interesting to talk about that today, and I really think the Harvard men's soccer team, I saw that. I didn't look too far into it when the story first broke, but read more in depth about it today, and it's something you would never expect an Ivy League team to do. You would expect them to be held to a higher standard and honor those standards that they are at. One of the best schools in the country, if not the best, is Harvard. Everyone knows Harvard. And yet they take for granted, they take advantage of being male and abuse their power. They rated women based on their attractiveness on the women's soccer team, and it was a disgusting situation that was handled pretty well, I would say, in getting rid of the one thing they care about a lot as a team, and that's getting to play games. I think it's interesting to see how the leagues are cracking down on domestic violence, relationship abuse, sexual violence, from NCAA, high school, all the way up to the professional level, especially recently in the NFL. There's been a lot of struggles with that and dealing with that as far as suspension goes and how when they're allowed to play after that. And so the harsher penalties we're starting to see, hopefully start to see a trickle-down effect in athletes in younger settings, that we don't see these instances come up too often. But there will obviously be high-profile cases like the Brock Turner one, where he got out 3 months early than he was supposed to, and even that sentence was seen as very light because of the grotesque details of that case, that he only got 6 months for sexually violating an unconscious woman, and then getting out early for that because he was a male, basically, and he wasn't looked at as harshly as it should have been as far as crime goes. And it all goes back to masculinity and what we read about, and how it's earned, and how power and violence and earning masculinity is a byproduct of sexual violence and relationship abuse. So it's really all tying together. I thought it was all really interesting, this whole unit, especially how it tied into the presentation we had at work today. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you very much, guys.